Hey, in this video we are going to go over the whys and hows of replacing my Bev-Seal Ultra beverage tubing with this new stuff from Williams Brewing. I think More Beer also has it, the EVA Barrier 4mm ID 8mm OD double wall Bev tubing. The reason that I have either of these tubings as opposed to your normal tubing is that they are a great barrier of oxygen, and as we all know, on the cold side of the beer we want to keep oxygen to a minimum at all costs. I think we can all agree on that. The Bev-Seal Ultra that I have in here now is great, except for what you see here, and that's that it's got very little resistance on the inside, so you have to have really long tubing to get a good pour. So this new stuff was appealing to me because it's got 2.8 pounds of resistance per foot, which means that for a typical kegerator setup I could go back to 6-foot lines, which sounds amazing. And it has the same characteristics as the Bev-Seal Ultra, which is that well, most of the same characteristics that I care about, which is that it's very slick on the inside, so it's resistant to build up inside the lines, and it also it resists oxygen due to the double wall barrier on it. The other nice thing about both of these is that they work with the John Guest fittings and all those push fittings like we have here. So these ones are the duo fits. And the ones I had before were the standard John Guests, and it works with both of them. So this should be a pretty easy swap out. I'm basically just taking these out and replacing it with this, and I should hopefully have a lot less line. So we'll check back in once I get there. So I'm cutting these into about 6.5-foot lines for now. Because they're push fittings, it's super easy to trim them, and I bought this 39-foot roll for dirt cheap. I think it was like $13 for a 39-foot roll. So it's no skin off my back if I got to trim off a little bit. Quite frankly, I should probably be going more, but most of the reviews that I've read from people I trust say that 6 feet is plenty for a typical kegerator setup. So that's what we're going to go with. So one of the things I was most excited about with using this tubing, and I guess I could have used it with the Ultra Bev-Seal too, but these adapters, these duo fit adapters, they fit on 3/16" shanks and tower shanks. And for anybody who's ever tried to get the Bev-Seal Ultra tubing onto these things, and I imagine the same goes with this EVA Ultra Barrier stuff, these are a godsend and worth every penny that you pay for them. I think they're like $3. So this fits right on here and makes an airtight seal. So I actually tested these with pressure, and they held just fine. They slid right on, no problem whatsoever. The other end is push. It is well worth switching to this just for that. If you're already using the Bev-Seal Ultra or something like that, definitely buy these things. They're awesome. So between all the gas and Bev lines in my kegerator with the Bev-Seal Ultra, that's the mess I just pulled out of there.